Warning, it is the opinion of the 4th Street Productions and the Working Perspectives Podcast Weekend Pop-In that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You've been warned, so if you decide to listen, then don't complain like a fucker.
On today's show, we cover trampolines, being naked and afraid, power going out, scorpions, and normal, not so normal, a new segment about behavior that you thought was normal, but actually wasn't. This is the rundown. Let's fucking go! Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by Schwap Game Steve Cabot, Captain Jerkbeard Tom Lavelle, and the one and only Lasmeeshma Liam Reese. In case you're wondering, you can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we can keep this party going. Schwap Game, how we doing, baby?
He's relaxed. Temperature has come down. Thank you, fucking Jesus.
That's right.
Yeah,
I
thank
agree.
you.
So,
Thank you.
not a bad day today.
Yep. Shout out our Lord and Savior. Tom, how are
100%.
you? I don't feel like I'm our Lord and Savior, but I'm doing all right.
He's close.
Sure, not everyone is. Lasmeeshma, what's life like, baby?
Dude, I'm with Steve. It's fucking great. The weather's great. It's like perfect. All that heat
All
wave
weather.
is done. I feel fucking awesome.
It was
Football's
crazy,
coming.
guys.
Football's coming, man.
Yeah.
During that heat wave, it was really rough. I had to walk from my car
Fucking
to the air conditioned bar that I work in. That, like,
God
10
damn it.
seconds was
Yeah.
brutal.
Well, speaking of an air-conditioned bar, this is the Working Perspectives Podcast. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
Yeah, so
What kind of car?
co-host of the Tuesday show, it's a Toyota. So co-host
What
of,
color?
It's white. So
Oh.
co-host of the Tuesday show, Jana Hilo. She had a rough week last week. Her car got shot 9 times with it from a drive-by that they shot. They had 34 shots in the drive-by and hit her car 9 times and hit the person once. And then
Where does she live?
she lives in like Fairmount.
In-
She lives at 15th and Fairmount, like right there. Right. So like just before North, but nothing. She's not in like Badlands or anything. So her car got shot 9 times. Right. And then her dad had a stroke. And then she got fired from her job all in the same week. So
What?
yeah, Jana had a rough week. Her GoFundMe is going to be in the description of this episode. So please, please help support Jana. Also, she didn't have comprehensive coverage on her car, so the insurance isn't covering the bullets.
Oh my god.
All right, so let's get it started. Tom, take it away.
All right, we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. We got 5 segments to talk about. We're going to get into each one of them. On this past week, we had Sheila Barry on the Working Perspective Podcast show. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Every episode seems to get better. This might be the best episode yet. Available on all podcast platforms and streaming service. Go find it. Go listen to it. You laugh. You have fun. you cry, you fall in love. It's a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
On the episode, Sheila discussed many things, one of which her being a nanny. She was working for a family, and the mother whose family that she was working for was a little bit of a, should I say bitch? Are we allowed to say cunt? Either way, she was a bit of a pain in the ass, and she kept trying to get Sheila to do this stuff because she was the hired help. You know,
Yeah.
she's supposed to be doing this. She's supposed to be doing that. One of the times she
Mhm.
tried to get her to get on the trampoline with the kids. The kids didn't want her on the trampoline. She didn't have to be on the trampoline. The mom says, get on the trampoline. You're supposed to be on the trampoline playing with my kids. What are you here for? Here, this is how you do it. She gets on the trampoline. Bitch's leg goes through the damn trampoline. He gets stuck. Fellas, my question is for you. Trampolines, are they great or do they suck? Liam, you're first. Trampolines, are they great or do they suck?
I think they're both. They're great, like it when I was a child, but as a
Sure.
parent,
You
they
have fond
fucking suck.
memories.
You know what I mean? Like I have great memories with a trampoline, but I've also seen people break their arms. And
Oof.
one of the times we were jumping from trees into the trampoline, I bounced,
Whoa.
hit the springs and stuff on the outside, and
Whoa.
like the nail on my hand, on my pinky, was facing the other side. Like it was on this side, like the nail.
Yeah.
And yeah, and like my buddy whose house we were at, like the mom had to call my mother to have her bring me to the hospital and everything, and it was nasty.
Yeah,
And that's why I would never have one at my house, because then other kids can get hurt.
Do
So,
you think the net around the trampoline would help you now? Would it have stopped you
Ooh.
from falling off? You know how they all have to seem to have a net around them these
Yeah.
no,
days?
because I got wasted on the springs. You know,
Yep.
does it prevent you? Does it prevent you from hitting the springs? Because that's where I got
No.
really
Yep.
messed up.
They can't, the net's on the outside of the springs, right?
Right.
Yes.
I'd imagine
Okay.
on the
So the
outside.
springs
It's
are-
on the frame, right?
Yeah, then you can still get
Dude,
hit
do you
pretty
Fucked
bad.
up.
do you see those videos on YouTube of like the trampoline that sends people like 100 feet in the
Yeah,
air?
the much bouncier ones. They're
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, dude. Those like, because it's like one guy in the middle and 6 people in a circle around him. So every time he lands, they all jump with him to give him like the mega bounce.
Double bounce. Yeah, the
Oh
double
my
bounce.
god, dude. There's some where they're like legit. It's like they're like 100 feet in the air. It's crazy. I
Yeah,
also
yeah.
saw there's like this game where there's like a platform up here. And then it's like
Yeah,
the
they
platform's a
stand on it,
wall,
and
and
that's
then
it.
on the bottom, so you
Yeah.
like fall on your back on the trampoline, and you jump up, and you're supposed to like stick the
Stick
landing. Yeah,
And then jump
which-
off it like a diving board. That shit's sick. I see
yeah,
that.
that looks pretty cool. I'm like,
That is
all right.
sick.
But
Those are cool.
That
yeah.
is awesome. Now, a little history for you guys on trampolines. The trampoline was actually invented in 1945 by George Nissen, a 3-time national champion diver for Iowa State. He got the idea while attending the circus and watching the acrobats land softly onto the safety net. He developed it. He gave it to the Army, who used it for fighter pilots to practice getting used to being tossed around a little bit.
Ooh.
Steve, pose the question to you. Trampolines, terrible or awesome?
Well, I have two phases in my life that I would grade this in, like Liam was saying. So up until 5 years ago, the greatest thing I've ever met in my life, right? So my experiences with trampolines, not only did I have a buddy who was one of them were on the show, Zebulon. His mom was in a gymnastics ordeal. So she had
Yeah.
a gym that had one of those, not only a regular trampoline, which I grew up on, a big outdoor one that I fucked
Mhm.
myself up in the spring a million times. But inside those gymnastics buildings, they have the super bouncy ones.
Yeah.
And they also have the tumble things where it's like 50 yards of a fucking trampoline into a pit. So you can
Yeah.
run down, do all types of fucking wild shit and just fly into the pit.
Yeah.
Greatest time of my life, right? Actually, in North Wales, where Liam was talking about too, we had 3 friends in row homes, basically, well, twins, but a fence between all 3 and 3 yard to yard to yard within jumping distance of each other, trampolines, right? So from the Menisseys to the Zigglers to, I forget that broad's name, we'd go
Yeah.
back and forth and back and through 3 trampolines through 3 yards all the time, right? So we got really,
Damn.
really good.
Damn.
So I am very good. That's why I got good on diving board, blah, blah, blah.
You are good on the diving board.
You were.
I go to fucking whatever the super bounce or sky zone or whatever the fuck this death trap of a place is called, by the way, with my nieces. And they're like, Uncle Steve, you can do some shit, right? I'm like, get out the way and watch Uncle Steve work, right? So yeah, I get a couple easy ones to get the oohs and the ahs, just
Sure,
your
right.
staple ones. Then I'm like, all right, it's time to show these little fucks what the deal is. Because there's a couple other little pricks I can do what I do. And I'm like, oh,
Sure.
calm down. Let me
Yeah.
show you something here.
Yeah.
So I go to bust out like a double, come around, and when I land, I just feel my knee felt like it ran to the other side of the building quickly, right? So he went down, but popped right back up and walked it up. I ain't letting my nieces see me like that. No way. Now in my head, I'm crying, bawling my eyes out like a little girl. Outside, I'm like, yeah, what'd you think? They were like, oh my God. I walked to the counter. I was like, where's the lawsuit paper? What paper did I sign? Give it back. Give it back. I was like, I'm suing everyone.
I'm
and
burning that affidavit.
Oh my God, that place. I can't even go near those places without getting anxiety now. I don't even get fucking anxiety. I see them trampolines. My knees are like, here we fucking go.
Urban Air, right? Is that
so,
what it's called?
Yeah, and I think what's the other one? Is it Sky Zone or
Sky Zone?
In East whatever
fucking shit they call it. You know what?
The death zone is what I call it. The death zone for old man's joints.
Yeah,
it's a tough thing seeing an older guy going ham at the Sky Zone. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, good luck.
I had a little circle around me. I was like, what are you looking at, fucking kid? What are you looking at, yo?
See,
you better give my niece that thing you just got out of the vending machine right now.
The kids are like, we want arm tattoos after that. That's great. He's so cool.
It's gonna make us do better flips.
Yeah.
Really,
I was a kid.
I can't go to work tomorrow because these little kids think I'm cool, and really, I'm just a complete asshole.
Man, well,
when I was a kid, doing professional wrestling moves on the trampoline was a big thing. Professional wrestling was big. Being the smaller person, they were like, all right, power bomb time and whatever.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you love. And then also girls on trampolines, the man show.
Fantastic.
Good
fantastic
trampolines. Trampolines and tatas.
Dude,
am I right or am I right?
The original iteration of the man show.
Amazing.
Like, dude, Rogan was a host on the second one after Kimmel and Carolla left. Yeah. It was Kimmel and Carolla, and then Stanhope and Joe Rogan on the second. Go ahead, Liam.
By the way, Jimmy Kimmel is a complete fucking asshole because he apologized for like being on the man show.
No, he didn't.
Because he's all down and shit.
That's fucked up. He shouldn't have to apologize for that. Ziggy's like, oi, right? Like
that show was
old man crushing the beer. Yeah, that old head was a legend.
Dude,
remember the little kid that used to walk up to chicks?
Yeah,
that kid
he was
great.
Awesome. Carolla hasn't apologized, has he? He wouldn't.
Hell no. Carolla would never.
Carolla's the fucking man.
He would never.
Carolla never apologized.
And he's not a corporate guy. He does his own. He was one of the first big podcasters. Yep. He would like pave the way for podcasting.
100%.
Shout out Adam Carolla, fan of the show, listener of the show.
Big time. Big fan of him. He was also a boxer too.
What do you think? Trampolines, good or bad?
I would say, nostalgia does play a big part in the trampoline, right? I did take my kid to a Urban Sky Air, whatever the hell they're called.
Sounds right.
They make you buy socks, FYI, when you're there. First thing, they're like, you got to buy the socks, otherwise get the fuck out.
Yeah.
So I got the socks. They were all right. But I don't know, man. It's totally. But I don't know. It does pique my interest. What we were talking about before, seeing it online, like going real, like the people that can do like the one dude legit did like 20 flips when he went up. Like that's how high he went. So seeing that, I would love to give a crack at the stick it game. See how that works. But I don't know.
God bless you.
But I do say this one time. I was working at a place where a spring had come out of there was a bend in the frame and we had to replace a piece of the frame. And this legit was the biggest ordeal that had ever occurred in the history of the world and almost made me want to shoot myself in the head. It was brutal. But I figured it out. Well, Tom actually knew. He said, you just got to take all the springs out and it's easy. But we only took like 2 out and it did not work. So
yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. And then I fixed it. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well,
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. Well, what's your final answer? Final answer is shitty.
Final answer is there's some good things. We think it's for younger kids.
Yeah.
Not for adults. As a kid, you love them, you want them, you need them. It's great for the adult to put the kids on to be like, all right, go do your thing. Leave me alone. Whatever. Yeah. As an adult.
Not so big.
Trampolines, go fuck yourself.
Dude,
all right.
That first time though, when you're like, because I feel like the giant trampoline hit like a fad in like the late 90s. Like it seemed like they were just popping up everywhere. Everyone's getting a giant trampoline, right? Like
And they
just,
were wild.
Oh yeah, like they're just popping up.
Oh,
in
they
people's
blow away in
backyards.
the wind. As an adult, you have this, and you're like, this is a walking liability. Someone's gonna break their arm in my backyard.
Oh, God,
a hurricane or whatever is gonna come through, blow this into the neighbor's yard. I'm gonna be the fucking asshole with this trampoline. It takes up a ton of space.
Oh yeah, kills your
Since-
grass.
Since I don't remember this broad's name, I'm gonna tell this story because it doesn't fucking matter. But right next to the trampolines, we said there was 3 in a row, right? It was the Menisseys, the Zigglers, and then whatever that broad's name was. And they all had the trampolines. Well, the one time we were out there shooting fireworks off and fucking around, and Chaz had an ember land on her trampoline, right in the center. Next thing you know, we turn around and it's already the size of like a frisbee. The flames coming up from the center.
No.
And I don't know if a lot of people have never seen a trampoline burn down because I sure the fuck haven't, but it goes quickly. That like rubber, whatever that is, lights up the chemicals on it quickly, turns into a big flame, right? So this thing opened up like the goddamn center of the earth and burned a big ring all the way to the edges. We had to yell for his dad. His dad was taking a shit. So his dad had to run out of the fucking bathroom. And he's already a super angry guy. Tried to put it out, but it was
whose
too
dad?
far.
Oh wait, whose dad was taking a shit?
Big Zig.
Oh,
Taking his shit. So he got to run out. He was ready to fucking kill Chaz, which he kind of did. And then he tried to spray it and get but there was nothing left and it was already to the metal. So then back then those things were like $400. You think the fucking guy that lived in a fucking twin in North Wales had $400? Hell no.
$400 in the 90s was actually $400.
dude.
Yeah. $9,000.
$400 now. I'm still like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but it, you know,
because your 10-year-old
back then it's like
an
you
asshole.
know, 1,400.
Yeah, because your 10-year-old fucking blew up a goddamn thing. Yeah,
Yep.
brutal.
Woo!
Burn the neighbor's trampoline down. Shit went
Big
up so quick.
news. All right, so that's it for trampolines. Let's move on to the next segment. So, as we said before, we're covering a lot of topics that were covered in Sheila Barry's episode. Great episode, best episode yet. Go check it on now on all streaming platforms.
All podcast platforms and YouTube. At Working Perspectives Podcast.
That's right. Follow us on the Twitter and the TikTok. Either way.
At Working P Pod.
Sheila's dad grew up in Kenya, or lived in Kenya. Not grew up, but lived in Kenya. She was telling us how all the different animals were running around. She would go there. She would see warthogs. She would see elephants. She would see zebras, etc. All that stuff. One time when she was about 13 years old, she was showering. And she was showering or whatever in the shower area. And she looked up and there's a fucking wombat in the shower.
Yeah.
She ran out of the shower, butt ass naked, down at things, screaming, trying to save her life from this wombat. Guys, what's the biggest time you've been naked or somewhat naked and afraid? And what would you do if there was a wombat in your shower? Liam, I'm going to kick it to you for this one.
So I just want you guys to know, for the naked and afraid, on my notes, it says Xanax shower.
Hell yeah.
I got a Xanax. Me and Liam got a Xanax story, but go ahead, Liam.
Easy,
So,
guys.
Yeah.
Buttholes.
So, like in my heyday, one of the best places to get high is like in the bathroom.
Damn right.
Like you go in there, like, oh, I'm taking a shower, you know? So you can take
Leave
a long
me
time in the shower.
alone. Yeah.
So I actually like did a bunch of dope and Xannies and then got in the shower. Like, okay, I'll take a shower. But then I fucking blacked out in the shower and passed out for what must have been like hours, you know? So when you take Xannies, you forget everything.
Yeah.
So like I may have gone through like a full night's sleep and then woke up to like ice cold water.
Whoa.
Just like spraying like my face and my body. You just wake up like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is spraying me with water? And then you open your eyes and you're in the fucking shower that you don't remember getting into.
Oh my God.
My
You must have been so pruny.
Dude, so pruny. I could not get warm for like the whole day. I remember being cold for like the whole day. I probably had like fucking hypothermia.
Dude, your water bill,
what time of year?
Oh my God.
What's that?
What time of year was it?
Oh, dude, I don't remember.
How old are you?
If it's winter time, that sucks even more.
I was in my 20s. I was in like the house I grew up in.
Okay, so you were living like you would move back home. Oh yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like were you living with your family?
Yeah, because if I was, the times I was getting high when I was living on my own, you just get high in like the kitchen or fucking,
Living here didn't matter.
The coffee table, like whatever.
So wait, but no one else in the house noticed that you were in the shower for 6 hours?
No, it was late at night.
You had like come home from work? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like at night, go in there, like turn on the shower so that if anyone does wake up and knock, like, you're pretty much left alone. Yeah. I think at that time though, I was only living with my mom at that time her now husband she was dating, so there was times where she was out of the house and stuff. I kind of running the place, so instead of being respectful, like good son, I was passing out and shit.
What do you think of your stepdad? You cool with him?
Oh yeah, he's cool. Yeah, he's all right. I mean, my mom married him when I was like fucking 28 or you know what I mean, or 29. I can't remember, but I was like older,
I was 21. Tom, you must have been like 23 when our mom married our stepdad. Yeah. Oh well. Nice. All right. Well, naked.
I don't
and
call
afraid.
him our stepdad. I just call him my mom's husband.
I usually say that. I usually say that too, because there was no like dadding involved.
Yeah, because you ain't getting dad.
Whatever. I'm not knocking, but it's not like
not a knock though. He's a good. He's a good dude.
Or like my father-in-law. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. So,
either way, naked and afraid. Matt, what's the moment that you've been naked or someone naked and afraid?
Okay. So it was in high school. I was dating this girl, right? And we were
story.
Yeah. Yeah. We were at her, she was still living at her parents' house, and her dad's room was on the first floor, and then her room and her sister's room were on the second floor. Right. So we school was done and we were hanging out at her house and we were the only ones there. Right. So we start, getting busy in her dad's bed, which is on the first floor. Right. And then all of a sudden we hear the car door shut and I'm butt ass naked. Right. And she's naked and we hear the car door shut and we're just like, oh shit. Right. So I grabbed all my clothes and I didn't have time. I ran there's a stairwell that goes up to the second floor. I run in the stairwell and I'm taking steps up and I hear the door open. So I have to stop. So I'm standing there completely naked, holding my clothes. She had ran into the bathroom and put a towel on to say she was just getting out of the shower. Right. And I'm standing there dude, naked, still full Schwan stuff. You know what I mean? Right. And the dad is and he's it's bad here. I see his bike outside. And she's yeah, he's upstairs. And I was just not all the way. And I'm just standing there holding my breath, please don't come over here. Please, because if he walks by, he can see me. You know what I mean? And then something happened where he had to call and he had to leave. Right. And I just it was 10 minutes of standing there, or, a couple minutes of it felt like an hour of standing in the stairwell, holding my clothes completely naked. And then he left and, went upstairs and then we finished and it was great. But that's how that went.
We finished.
Oh, God.
Matt
I was not going to finish. Come on.
Matt looked danger dead in the eyes and said, fuck you, buddy.
I'm finishing.
Yeah. Finish time.
That was a big time naked and afraid. Also, anytime after morning practice, that was terrifying. Right. No matter what. So yeah, that was terrifying for everybody.
Oh, what, showering?
Yeah. All parties.
That was the worst. The worst is that we were at LC and there was no shower. We just went home and showered. And then our first practice was all right, I guess we're showering with a bunch of dudes. This is gonna be it. And we're kind of sitting there all right, do we get in? Is this our turn to shower? I don't know what's going on here. And then eventually you just sort of no one gives a fuck.
Everyone has the walk though. It's the walks like this. You put your towel in the rack, take towel off, cover your junk, put your towel in the rack, walk covering your junk to the shower, cover your junk, walk back to your towel. I think that's what the walk that everybody did. You're just covering your junk the whole time until you're showering.
The only giant issue where we went to fucking school, which might as well be, I'm going to call it North Gay now, because Every other fucking gym that I've been in has its own personal showers, or the heads are along the wall, right? So everyone faces the wall. North Penn, they got the jail posts where it's the motherfucker in the middle. So everybody's got to stand in a circle with their dicks in front of each other. And there's 5 dudes in a circle jerk looking at the post. Put them along the wall. Whoever the guy invented that goddamn thing, you got to be kidding me, North Gay. We got to do better, cuz. Put them along the wall.
Keep the eyes up. You just
I know. Never break eye contact.
Never break eye contact.
I know why they did that.
And try not to shower with Hill so you didn't, ruin your. No, I mean, like, if you want to feel really inadequate, you know what I mean? Take a shower with Brandon.
Actually is.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, great. I'm useless.
Dude, when we were in like sixth grade, dude.
Yeah,
of course.
Jimmy McCormick still tells this story of me peeing on him in the shower, but I don't remember doing that.
You asshole.
I don't remember doing it. I don't think I wouldn't like. I
think
was.
you did.
I know I wasn't into that. I didn't like the picking on like the young that and like the picking on the younger kids. I was not, I didn't like that. But either way, that was my naked.
Either way, you pissed on Jimmy, who was
I don't think I did. I don't think I did it. I don't think so. I think that
something like
this kid.
that.
You think this kid's fabricating it?
Yeah, I think
you calling Jimmy a liar.
Yeah, why would he?
I don't know.
You say that, Matt. We have Jimmy here now.
And he's here right now. No. All right.
Tell us his story about being naked, afraid, and getting pissed on by a mean jerk named Matt.
Yep. Steve, what about you, naked and afraid?
It was funny you say that. The 2 I had was that one, which was taking the shower in high school. But I have a similar experience as Matt, but not. It was a later bombshell for me, right? So we're down LBI. Matt's grandfather has a beachfront place in LBI. So we used to go down there, tell broads all these lies. I'm a terrible person.
Matt
in my early
O'Connor.
20s. Yeah, Nemo, former guest of the show. All of us would go down there. And we would tell them that we're all like investment bankers. And when we graduated college, we got to scratch together. We got a beachfront house, blah, blah, blah. Because we could just blaze L's in it and shit because his family wasn't down there. It was just Matt's grandfather's, right? He's close to his grandfather. So we're down in LBI. We go down to the 3 stupid bars at the bottom, meet a bunch of girls, tell them all this bullshit. They don't believe us. They get back to the crib. And he had one on Brant Beach where before, like I said, Sandy, the water would come up to, it would look like you were on a boat when you're on a second deck. It was insane. It would come within 10 feet of the house, high tide every night. It was insane.
Yeah.
So these girls are like, fuck this crib. You should see our girls. We're on the drunk bus. You should see our girls' Bayfront house, right? And I'm like, hell yeah, this girl's into me. She's hot too. She got the chubby friend, right? When I say chubby friend, I'm talking, she in baby Rhino. Big John, right? Very friendly, cool girl, big girl, right? Too big for me.
Fan of the show.
I don't have enough in the ass cheeks to be able to handle something like this, right? So I bowed down. Her friend's into me.
Yeah.
I don't think Matt's into it. She's into Matt. Matt's not really into her. Matt's now slowly becoming blacked out. Matt looks at me and says, "We're going to the Big John's crib." I was like, yeah, right? Now I'm hyped. We pull up to the house. This Bay house is sick, right? I mean, filthy.
Private dock, everything.
Oh yeah. Matt can barely walk at this point, so the walrus is taking him to the room for slaughter. I'm taking the girl down to the couch in the garage, right? So I'm down there trying to fuck this girl. Her friend comes in. She's like, immediately, I just get naked. Here comes the walrus kicking in the door. I'm like, holy shit, what are you doing? Your friend's passed out. I'm like, I mean, all right, what do you want me to do? I'm like, fucking draw on him or some shit. You got a marker? Yeah. She was like, yeah, I will. I was like, cool, do that, right? So she was drawing dicks on his back and shit. So she goes back in there.
Fucked up.
Yeah. I'm fucking her friend. She comes back out. Your friend's still passed out. I'm done drawing on. You guys are done. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, right? So this Ryan, and I'm intimidated. I ain't talking back to this bitch. She that big. Like this bitch, I mean, I don't know. Damn. I would just like, oh yeah, she might pin me against the wall. I don't fucking know, right?
Like Jason Kelsey's twin.
She definitely played center. I'll tell you that. But so she tells me this. We got to go. Blah, blah, blah. She steaming hot. Me and Matt leave. I get that girl's number. Next day I call her. I'm like, I can't believe what's your friend's like family do for a living, that sick house. Blah, blah. She was like, oh, her dad's an FBI or a CIA agent. And I was like, hold on. Was he there? She's like, yeah, he was upstairs sleeping in his room. I'm like, hold on, bitch. You got me in here with your friend's dad. She's trying to fuck my friend in her house. And we were like, I don't know, 22. Like I got her other friend in his garage naked. This dude's going to shoot us. He's going to fucking shoot me. Like, you fucking bitch. She was like, well, I thought it was all funny and shit. I was like, and the Rhino was mad. So if she told her pops and like he saw her upset, if that was my daughter, everybody getting it. Everybody getting it.
Deal with Daddy
I'll shoot
Rhino.
her friend too.
No.
Like, I don't even like your friend. Bang.
Papa Rhino don't play. No, sir.
Nope. Yes. So he was the next day, he was afraid a little bit during the safari. after it, when I got briefed and debriefed of what was above, then he got very scared.
When were you? Oh, and you were naked when the rhino busted on. You said you had to leave. Okay, I see.
Time to go.
All right.
She said, you, and I'm not, you know what I mean? The rhino could probably just rip my shit up. I don't know if she would bite it. Like, I don't know if she had a snack earlier and that. This shit could have got crazy.
She'd probably still be hungry afterwards.
What can I say?
All right, Tom, what about you? Naked?
You know what?
Braid?
To be honest, I've gotten lucky with any type of like I guess I should say like a sexual thing with I've never been in a situation where oops,
You were the girl?
I'm banging this chick
Hey!
and something, you know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of times if I'm drunk, I'm like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Like if
Right.
I was there when I were you, Steve, and Rhino came in, I'd be like, hey, you know, there's plenty
Pull
to go
up
around.
a chair.
Come on,
Yeah.
you fat fuck. Let's
Yeah.
do this, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
one thing I hate is having to go number 2 in public. It's like the worst
the
thing in the
worst.
world.
The worst.
The one time,
Hold on. Do you
And
get
I-
naked when you shit? I'm confused.
you guys take your shirts off, right? No, but I'm
Just
not
my
fully
socks.
naked, but
Yeah,
naked
yeah,
as shit.
I know,
I don't know
I
if
know,
there's
I
a
know.
more vulnerable state to be in.
Right.
So
I agree.
Right.
we were out at we used to go jump off these cliffs and bridges. It was
Black Rock.
called Black Rock.
Phoenixville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
we
so-
actually talked about that
The
recently.
Schuylkill. Yeah.
We used to go do that, and we drive all the way out there. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh no, I gotta take a shit. And I'm there with a bunch of fucking hooligans, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh great, what's gonna happen now? So
Yeah.
fortunately, I just went in. I'll tell you what though, the squatty potty, I think they got something because this guy, I was like, holy shit. I guess I had to go.
Oh wait, you did
know what I
it. You did it like
I just
African
knees up.
style,
You did
I
it
just
knees
went
up.
into the woods and
and just catcher
Knees
stance
up.
all the way
yeah,
down.
stance. Let's get this fucking shit. And then I'm worried about something like biting me or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, let's just
yeah.
get in it. So that was my I guess it was my, but you know,
Partially
it-
naked.
It was quick and I was out of there. You know what I mean?
Dude.
And I was like, hey,
Yeah.
saved a life.
Dude, that would be terrifying. Like, I mean, like shitting in public, regardless, is terrible. But in the middle of the woods, that's
Oh.
I don't know.
I'll have a full panic attack. If I gotta get on a long flight, I'm like, I gotta
Ugh.
go before I get on this flight. I'm
Ugh.
not going to the bathroom on a plane. Like it's just
Oh,
not
yeah, no
happening.
thanks.
Never
Yeah,
gonna
no
happen.
thanks.
Yeesh.
So
Yeesh,
that's my
yeesh.
biggest naked and afraid thing. So
All right, nice. Keep
next.
it moving.
so
There's no
on
hot chicks on that plane. I'll take a huge shit in it. Fuck them.
if
Yeah.
there's no hot chicks,
One hot broad. I'll hold that John till I die.
Yeah. You're like we're flying to Beijing. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
So,
you staying in there.
on this past week's episode with Sheila Barry, available on all podcast platforms.
And YouTube.
Her mom was born in a house. Sheila was talking about how her mom was born in a house that had no electricity,
Yeah.
which is crazy to think about. That just the past generation, she was born in a house that had zero electricity.
Yeah.
Guys, what's the longest time you've gone without power? And when you lose power, what's the best thing to do? I'm going to throw this one to Matt. Matt, you start.
So a couple years ago, me and my wife, she was my fiance at the time, we were living in an apartment, right? And do you guys remember we had like
In
a
Little
really,
Moscow?
no, this was in North Wales
Okay.
at the Hunt Club. And so we're living there, and remember we had like this really bad ice storm, right? And
Mhm.
there was a tree that got like knocked down, and it took out the power to our apartment, right?
Fucked up everything. That shit was nuts.
They said at first they're like, all right, it'll just be overnight, power will be out, right? Then the next day they're like, all right, it'll be one more day. So the first night we were just like, all right, we'll just go back to sleep, and it was freezing cold, but I was like, we'll just extra blankets, stay close, like we'll be fine. And it wasn't terrible. It was fucking cold though. And then
Good thing you got that extra sweater under the shirt.
Oh,
that
very,
bad boy
very
came
true.
in handy. That
I
bad
will-
boy came in handy.
I will say this, right?
Finally.
we put candles, right? We put candles out. We must have
Yeah.
had like 30 candles. In the movies, they make it seem like candles can light up
They don't
fucking
like shit.
they
Yeah.
don't do a motherfucking thing. We had like 20 candles and I couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
So needless to say, power was like with all our food in the fridge and stuff, like all spoiled. We had to like throw that away.
Ah, fuck.
And then we ended up having to go to my mom's house and stay there for a couple days until the power came back on. But There was because we wait because the first thing they're like, all right, overnight it'll be back. Didn't come back. Then the next day they're like, all right, one more day and it'll be back. And we stayed so overnight and then another full day and then another night, right? So it's almost 2 days. We were like, fuck this, we're done. So and it was freezing cold. It was just an ice storm. It was the middle of the winter. So we were like, no heat, no electricity, everything
hot water.
Phones were dead. I think the hot water was working, if I remember correctly.
For the hot water.
Yeah, but we did. But yeah, so we were just like, fuck that. Had to end up going and staying at my mom's for a little bit. But yeah, it's candles are bullshit. So there you go.
Candles are bullshit. Steve, candles are bullshit. What was the longest time you've gone without power? And what's the best thing to do when you don't have it?
So there's 2 ways you can look at this. One way, when I was a kid, obviously, when the power went out, the best thing I had to do was stay the fuck alive because my brother knew that my sight was down and it was time to punish his little brother. Like I said, he was kind of a bully to me. He's a great person now. Beat the shit out of me when I was little. Yes. So
shout out
my
national
thing was,
champion. What are they? The regulators?
Enforcers. Yeah.
Enforcers.
Enforcers, pussy.
Right. Regulators. Yeah. Pretty good name though.
Not bad. I'll give you that. Not bad. Yeah. But so they so usually it was like a hide and go seek immediately for me. I would like to play hide and go seek when the power. I would hide and he would seek me and then beat me and I would hide again and seek me and beat. But
seek and beat.
The longest I've been the longest I've been out in when you say that would camping and shit count? Like when you're out and there's no electricity out there and
that's a shout. We could do that. I mean?
Yeah. So like camping, I've been out at 2 weeks at a time. No problem. With no electricity.
No
yeah, 14, 15 days. We go on like fishing trips and shit and you hike and whatnot. So, and by the time that's over, I want to shoot myself. By the way, all I want to do is take a hot shower because I'm a pussy and I'm a first world pussy. So I love the warm shower and I know there's good food. So he gives up. He's like, you know what? It's enough hiking around in my wet ass shoes and taking shits in the woods and wiping my ass with leaves. I want to fucking go home.
Nobody likes shits in the wood.
What? It's fun.
Is there anything better than a warm shower after you've been cold and wet?
Like removing snow or something for 15 hours and you're all wet and been working it or something.
Or rained on all day, like a cold rain, and you just get home and you take a nice warm shower. Is there anything better than that?
Man,
nope.
I'll tell you.
There is. You get really high and take one of those showers, but
and then you pass out.
And then you wake up and the cold water's hitting you.
Ice cold.
But have you? All right. What about the adverse of that though? Like me and Tom lived in a house 444 Markle Street. Shout out, fan of show, listener show. We lived at that house and we didn't pay the hot water bill from. It was like probably April to November. We didn't pay the hot water bill.
No.
Right, and it was cold showers like almost year round. I'll tell you something that
make a man out of you.
Yo, for real. Like also too, like we
just
were
do it. Just go.
We learned this. You need to be under the pipes when you turn it on because that's the warmest the water is because it's the water sitting in the pipes. Also, do like some calisthenics before you jump in there. Get some push-ups in. You know what I mean? Maybe some jumping, whatever.
Remember where the water is hitting you. That's where your hand is. Wherever the water is hitting you, you put the hand there. So the water hits the hand. It's about a buffer, and then you scrub and you wash. That's how you do it.
And then to shave, I would heat up.
Or you just take a Xanax and pass out. It's one of the two.
I would heat up a tea kettle. You heat up. You put the water in the tea kettle. You put the water on the stove. You go up. You jump in the shower. Do everything. Come back down afterwards. Get the tea kettle. It's hot enough by then. Coming up, clog the sink, pour it in the sink, and use that to shave. I'll tell you, not gonna lie, tea kettle shave, pretty good shave.
All right, losing power. What's the longest time you've been without power, and what's the best thing to do while you don't have power? Liam, tell me.
So there was like a couple times I remember like the power get cut and stuff, but there's a time that sticks out the most is when I was younger. We lived in Rockaway Beach and we were on 118th Street. And at the end of the street is the boardwalk. And there was a really bad storm. And, like the tide came in so far that the water was like all the way down the street and everything. So when the power went out from the storm, like you look out your front door and there's just water. Like, so you can't even leave. Like, so you're bored as shit. And back then, no cell phones, no computers, you know what I mean? Like, so we didn't have shit. So I remember playing like board games. I just remember looking
Bingo.
out because we had this bay window. I remember looking out. There'd be like people out there with like rafts and stuff, like trying to like just get out. I guess they're trying to get out to get to like a store or something. And
Wow.
it was wild, dude. That
And
one
how
sticks
old were
out in my
you?
head. Oh man, I was 7 or 8.
But all
6
your
maybe.
brothers and sisters had been born by then. So your
Yeah.
mom was alone with 4 kids.
Yeah, that was probably pretty stressful.
That's a
Time.
fucking
When you-
rough shout out
imagine
your
you have-
mom.
Yeah, 4
And
kids.
4 kids.
Inside. You look
Yeah.
outside and it's just fucking water, like the
Yeah.
ocean water. Is there.
4 kids, ages 7 and under, and you can't leave the fucking. You can't open the
And
door.
there's a river out front.
Yeah,
There's a river out front.
yeah. That's a rough fucking shout.
Hell yeah.
Good on your mom.
Mm.
That's a strong woman.
It was
Wow.
crazy. And like even though it happened when I was that young, I can still I can still just picture when I looked out that window and saw like how much water and how fast it was like moving and everything. And that was like just a
So you're getting
storm.
taken
That wasn't
away.
even
You
Sandy. I
step
can't
out
even
in that,
imagine
you're
what's.
getting-
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. You know, like the
Oh,
people,
so
that,
it's
the
like-
people that were out there were fucking nuts. They're out.
It was like whitewater rapids out there.
Yeah,
You're
it was
some
pretty
rapids.
crazy.
Fucking rapids. Damn.
some rapids.
Damn. Tom, what about you? A little
You know what?
power
I
outage.
just think like some power outages. I don't think like I remember the power getting shut off at that 444 Markle Street, but I think at home it only happened. I think the longest we ever went was like a night, and then maybe went to school the next day. And by the time we got back, it was on.
Yeah.
However, the best thing to do, I'm thinking, is to light the candles and play some card games or some board
Yeah.
games. That's what we did, and we just kind of made the best of it. We had our dad always was prepared, so we had like a bunch of flashlights. We'd have maybe a little flashlight tag in the house or something like that, or he'd have like a lantern that you know was battery operated. That he said, "I told you I've been saving this for a reason," something like that. But he had all the camping gear, so we just kind of made the best of it, and it was kind of something that was. I thought was cool. I was like, oh man, this is awesome. We lost power. Like, what are we gonna do? This is great. It was like camping in your house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He had the end of the world gimmick shit too. Like he was prepared for that too. He had like all those he had boxes and boxes of like those meals.
Dehydrated
MREs.
That never go
Yeah.
bad.
Ready to eat. Yeah.
He had like because he loved like later in life he would love going to like gun shows and shit. And the zombie apocalypse was like a big thing. Like it became like a big market at these gun shows. And he was like, he was all into. He had some fucking killer. That's one of the things.
Not only that, he had a secret door put into his place, and you opened it up, and it was just the gun show.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was like drawers.
No,
like a bookshelf. It was like a bookshelf, and you opened it up, and it was just like this little room that had all this fucking guns, army kill. I'm gonna, break into my house and you're all fucking dead.
You're done.
Yeah. He was.
He would cut the power.
That was it.
Like,
that's what he would say. Because he was like, he's like, if someone did break in, he's like, I'm turning all the lights off because he's like, I know where everything is in the dark and they don't, And I was like, damn, when you put it like that,
including the 50 cal. He's like, I'll just pull that out.
He
I got a
had
little card for it.
He had guns everywhere,
including to go watch wrestling matches with extra ammo.
Yeah,
good point.
Yeah,
just in case he had to reload. Yo, the guy's a legend.
He would have 2 guns on him. He would have.
It's the hardest move I've ever. That's some Rambo shit. When you're like, nah, I might run out, so I need to. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think he got into some shit where he thought he was fucking Rambo. You know what I mean? Like he was like living the movie. Like,
I think too. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the deal was with our stepmom, but like I don't
how
know.
She put up with it. I have no idea.
Yeah, but I think too, she was like, he did it to be like overprotective of her too. Because like
she thought it was the American way.
Yeah, because she was straight born and raised in Dublin. You know what I mean? So
like orphanage or something.
She's like, oh, guys like this is how America took over. Guys like him is how America. Right. I get it. They're like, I see why you guys
makes
have a
sense. Yes, of course you have to have a room with all these guns. She's used to the IRA, so she's like, I get it.
She's like, but he had some sweet guns though. He had like Lancaster repeaters, and he had
Sounds sick though.
It's the John Wayne it's the
all
John
right.
Wayne rifle from the it's like a cowboy cavalry rifle, you know.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He had like 2 of them, and then he had an M14 wood panel sniper rifle. That it was the M14 is what they used in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And so it was a Vietnam like era sniper rifle. And I remember like I shot this thing a couple times. It was fucking crazy. Like this thing, it was pretty cool. So yeah, and he had like a sawed-off shotgun and a fucking 45. And he said he was and knives. He loved knives and guns and brass knuckles and all that cool shit.
Right. Well, speaking of rooms full of guns, Sheila grew up in Oklahoma. So on last week's episode with Sheila Barry, she covered a bunch of topics, one of which was she grew up in Oklahoma. And in Oklahoma, certain things are different. She went to rodeos. She participated in rodeos. And one of the things that she said that they would get in Oklahoma that's a little bit different than Pennsylvania was scorpions. They would get scorpions in Oklahoma. There would be houses that were abandoned that they would have to condemn because they would be full of scorpions.
Yeah.
My question for you, gentlemen, is, are scorpions the scariest insect? Matt, we're going to start with, wait, whose turn is it?
Liam,
we're going to start with you. Are scorpions the scariest insect going? And what would you do if you were in a house full of scorpions?
Yeah, what would you do, Leo?
You don't want to know what I'm Scorpions aren't the scariest insect. They're by far the best insect that you can smoke and trip face off of.
Whoa.
Just ask anyone in a mud hut.
Yeah,
Explain what goes on with this. What are you talking about?
Elaborate.
This is something that was new to me and it's probably new to our listeners.
Yeah.
Unless they're cool.
So
unless they're Pakistani.
Like,
unless
like
they've passed out in a tub because of Xanax and woken up to a cold shower.
Out in like Pakistan, like Afghanistan, whatever, like they out there, I guess they don't have like the same infrastructure as us. So, you know what I mean? Like you just don't go down to, you know, such and such street and then just go cop your drugs, you know? So
yeah.
they probably get
Jefferson.
high. Yeah. 17th Jet. Yeah. They just, I guess they, you know, they have found like more creative ways to get high. And one of them is they'll take like a coal and they'll put a fucking live scorpion on the coal and fucking, you know what I mean? Put a tube in their mouth and freebase it. The other way, they'll take the scorpion, they'll crunch it up, put it in like a hash joint or just smoke it through a pipe. But they're smoking fucking literal scorpion.
Is it like the poison in the stinger that does it, or just the scorpion shell and all of it?
I'm sure they smoke the whole scorpion, but I'm sure it's the venom that fucks with you. Because it's like a lot of drugs are just like, you know, your body's reaction to like poison, essentially, you know? Yeah. So, but they say it lasts 10 hours.
10 hours?
But for 6, but listen, here's the kicker. For 6 of those hours, you're in excruciating pain. Probably from the scorpion venom.
From the poison.
100%.
Yeah. So my take is, I think maybe when the venom wears off in 6 hours, you might just feel so good that you're no longer fucking poisoned. That being normal feels like you're high.
Tripping. Yeah.
If scorpions aren't the scariest insect,
they're not.
Liam, what is?
Fucking bed bugs are the scariest.
They're the fucking worst. I'll tell you that. Bed bugs.
Why
what
bed
about
bugs, Liam?
Isn't there killer wasps out there that are like
hold on,
huge?
everyone's gonna go.
Yeah, chill. We're just gonna start throwing out fucking your answers.
All right.
God damn it, Matt.
Oh, are you really saying something about jumping in while someone else is talking?
Steven? Liam, go ahead. Bed bugs.
Bed bugs like are just fucking scary because every time you go somewhere, like you go to a hotel or something. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't care if I'm in like a 5-star, like if I'm in the Ritz, dude. Like I think about like I'm in sheets that somebody else could possibly have been in.
Jizzing
and
that.
Like my head always goes there, dude. Like I swear to God, if I wake up and I feel like any itch on like my ankles or fucking my body, I'm gonna be so paranoid. I always look under the mattresses and shit to see if I can see any like dots or anything. Dude,
and you know, once you've had a bug on you, you just seem to feel like there are other places. You're like, what was that? What was that? You know what I mean? If you've had one bug that you caught crawling on you, you're like, you know, the rest of the day, you're like, is that something there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. But
whether it
bed
be your
bugs, like,
mind or something
oh,
like
dude.
that.
No
Dude.
thanks, man. 'Cause then you got to
Yeah.
get rid of everything. They fuck up all your stuff.
Ugh.
That's scary.
Ugh.
All right. In 2002, an American sword and sorcery action adventure, The Scorpion King, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, was
Yeah.
#1 at the box office. Steve, are scorpions the scariest insect? And if not, what is the scariest insect?
Shout out.
Nah, they're definitely not the scariest because like Liam said, I've been seeing these articles. We joke about it in our chat with the North Wales guys all the time about these bulls. It's basically like, remember when we were kids, it was like licking the frog thing. If you found that one type of frog, like its belly, you licked it, you would trip balls or some shit. There was like,
Steve, you might want to
some
save
shit.
that for the next segment.
But
Normal, not normal.
yeah, right. But no, so it's absolutely not the scariest bug, scariest bug. It's a dope little bug with his little armor, and he fucking sticks you with the little spike out of his ass. Kind of
It
weird,
is
right?
a badass bug.
You got the little crunchers too. Yeah, out here, right?
Yeah.
So the one that I was gonna say is the #1 shittiest insect in the fucking planet. This bullshit ass thing kills more people than anything else on the planet. Shitty ass mosquitoes.
That's a good answer.
Fucking mosquitoes. Them little
No.
cocksuckers. There's no bug I hate worse. If we could eradicate them, there's absolutely no reason for them to be here. I don't care. Hit everybody with Agent Orange. We'll figure out who fucking gets through it. But whatever can kill the goddamn mosquitoes, all of them forever, I'm in.
Yeah.
That's a really good answer.
That's a
Fuck
great
them
answer.
things.
I hate mosquitoes, and like I get my yard sprayed all
Damn
the time.
skeeters.
They're
I think that
The
is the stat,
worst.
right? They kill more humans than like
Oh,
any other animal.
they're
Mosquitoes or some
responsible
shit.
for more
Yeah,
death. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
The
mm,
damn skiers.
Little pieces of
Going
shit.
skeet
You get all
shooting.
excited when you smack him and the blood splats. I'm like, yeah, pussy, you might have got me, but you're dead. I'm gonna
Skeet,
itch for 3
skeet.
days. You're dead.
Skeet.
Scorpions, a loved character of Mortal Kombat. Matt,
Get over here.
get over here. Are scorpions the scariest insect? And what would you do in a house full of scorpions?
First off, I'd light the house on fire, then smoke it.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what I'm
man.
doing with the house full of scorpions.
Congratulations,
Hello.
buddy.
Welcome
Let's
to the
go.
party.
Woo.
And then the scariest insect to me is a cockroach. I'm fucking not having it. I'm not having it. If I see a cockroach, it's like the end of the world.
He's the Cal Ripken of bugs, right? That's Mr.
I-
Reliable. No matter what
no.
happens, he's there.
I
Mr.
will.
Reliable.
4 Marcus.
If I see a cockroach, I kill it and I leave it there as a sign for the other cockroaches. I'm like, this is what happens when you fucking come here. You
All right,
come here,
Vladdy.
you get dead.
All right,
You
Fly,
get
don't
dead.
be- There's a real thing happening over in your wife's area where they used to stick the humans on the stakes. Vladdy outside, where was that? Romania or some shit?
Oh, dude,
Are you
Vlad the
talking about
Impaler?
Vlad the Impaler?
Vlad the Impaler, yes.
Isn't he from Transylvania?
Matt fucking
But where is
crucifies
Transylvania? Is that
cockroaches and
Russia?
leaves them on the path to the house, so
Yeah,
other
'cause
cockroaches
that's some.
see.
You're
Yeah.
a twisted motherfucker.
I hate
yo.
cockroaches. We lived at a place 444 Markle was
Shout
the
out.
dirtiest at one
Oh,
point.
it's a pit.
And I mean, the cockroaches should have been paying rent as much as they were there. It was ridiculous. You
Yeah.
turn on the lights and it was like boom. And I'm sleeping on the floor. I
Ugh.
was sleeping on the floor.
Nice.
On a
So-
mattress on the floor.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So cockroaches, that was in my top.
Yeah.
One of
And
my top
cockroaches weren't even the
five
dirtiest thing in your bed.
fucking hate cockroaches, right? Cockroaches are the worst. So
And rats.
now I will say this: scorpions. They're 2 of the top 12 deadliest insects in the world. The Indian red scorpion is number 5, and the Death Stalker scorpion is number 6. Probably great
Fuck that
for
little
smoking.
shitty bug. I'll step on that
Wow.
shitty little
Yeah,
bug.
they
So-
probably get you high as fuck.
You die.
To me, the worst, scariest insect I could never deal with is the fucking centipede, dude. Certain centipedes, if you're an Amazonian centipede, can grow up to a foot long.
Oh.
You ever see the movie where they crawl
hold
on?
on,
The,
hold on,
they're going through something like
Where
that.
the fuck are you running into an Amazonian? Fuck, well, the ones around us suck. These
The Amazon.
caterpillars.
The Amazon.
You're going there?
I ain't going nowhere. But every
Yeah,
I
time
so
I
order
see
from
the movie,
Amazon all the time.
if there's a scorpion or if there's a centipede, that
Nice one.
centipede is the worst thing ever. A
Yeah,
long
they're
ass
not-
centipede.
Yeah, they're not
This-
great.
Not to mention
It's the
the human
softest
centipede.
answer I've ever heard.
What
I'm so
about
depressed.
a millipede?
You said a mosquito.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
You're talking skeeters and you're shitting on his peed.
You're West Nile Steve, and you're
Hey, West Nile Steve is dangerous.
Zika
You're
Steve over there.
Yeah. Yeah, but nah,
So
yeah.
none of us had scorpions as the most. Actually, scorpions are pretty cool, and we
Yeah,
like scorpions. So
Little
we're gonna smoke.
aliens.
Shout out
Scorpions.
live event where we smoke.
In Matt's new crib, we gonna blaze scorpion in the
Yeah.
basement.
None of you are invited to my new house.
scorpions, smoke them if you got them.
Hell yeah.
All right. What's
So,
the next?
Moving on to the next segment and our last segment before recommendation. A new segment called Normal, Not Normal. This is all about something that you grew up doing or have been doing that you thought was normal. Come to find out, it was not so normal. Sheila grew up in Oklahoma, as we said, and she was on doing these rodeos and stuff like that. She went to agriculture school, and she thought growing up that everybody went to agriculture school. They learned how to plant, they learned how to grow, they learned how to take care of a farm, they learned how to do the shop. As she got old, she realized, holy shit, not everybody does this. Guys, what's something that you used to do when you were younger, or maybe do now that you found out later on wasn't so normal? Matt, we're going to start with you. Matt, normal, not normal.
So the one thing that I didn't know is that for us, like, I guess in the Philadelphia area, pretzels are so just abundant. It's pretzels everywhere. But if you go to Jersey, they're like not to be found. I didn't know that pretzels was like a PA thing. You know what I'm saying? So I thought they were just normal everywhere. You know,
got them at grade school.
Yeah, we got them delivered to grade school. A quarter for a pretzel with some mustard.
Nice pretzel too, not them shitty ones.
Yeah,
nice
Those
soft
pretzels
ones.
were good.
Yeah.
They were
I
good.
want to
Yeah.
say Jersey
Shout
and
out.
New York is more bagel country.
Yeah,
True.
agreed.
True. I would agree. Bagel. They're
More
total
pastries.
bagels. But even like the hard pretzels, like the Utz gimmicks, the barrels, they don't got them either. So, you know, I don't know. That was me. I thought it was normal to be pretzels wherever you go. But
the Snyder's pretzel pieces.
Oh,
they're so
So
good.
here's something else I wanted to ask all you guys to shit on someone on the Tuesday show. But we all say Utz as the pretzel brand, right? It's Utz.
It's clearly us.
Clearly Utz.
There's no other
What do they call it?
pronunciation. I don't even know.
Utes? The two
Utz.
Utes?
Utz.
Who says that?
Who do you think?
J-Dub.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, if he
He
says that shit,
says
I'm
he
gonna
says
open
Utz.
hand-
He says Popeyes. Pup like a puppy. He says
Yeah.
Popeyes.
And he
I
says
was-
hot
I-
dog.
Yeah.
Hot dog.
Hut
Yo, I'm gonna
dog?
Nate
Hut
Diaz
dog? Like
smack
hut,
the
hut,
shit
hike?
out of him.
Hut
Yeah.
dog?
Trav
you
does
live in
that
a
shit
hut?
too.
Jesus.
Sometimes
Like Jabba the Hutt?
Sometimes I don't know with that kid, but yeah. So, but yeah, so pretzels thought they were normal, not so normal.
Yep.
By the way, I think we have something where we can make fun of New Jersey and New York people. We'll just call them bagels. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
there are a couple bagels over there. Couple bagels over there.
We could call
All
them
right.
Mondays.
Guys, the question is, what's something that you did that you thought was normal wasn't? Liam, we're going to go to you. Liam, something you've done or grew up doing that you thought was totally normal. Lo and behold, you're a fucking weirdo.
Total weirdo.
So I've noticed, like, for a long time, like most people, when they lay down and actually go to sleep, they're like laying on their stomach, like they're free falling, or they're
Yeah.
on their side. You know
Sure.
what I mean? They're in the fetal
Sure.
position or something.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking lay on my back, like with my hands on my chest, like a fucking mummy, like King Tut. Like I sleep like King Tut, like no matter what. And if I do for some reason fall asleep on my side, I'll be up in like 15 minutes or something, and I'll go back and I'll just fucking lay like fucked up, like on my back, and my hands will end up like on here, like this, and I'll just be like, on
Well,
my
you
back.
know how
That's
they
not-
have,
that's not normal.
they call the fetal position, you know, a certain thing. You know, they call that the Zanny position.
Very
Zanny
similar.
shower
Very
position.
similar.
That may have something to do with it.
Sure did.
No, get out of here.
You son of a gun. So sleeping on your back in a mummy's position. Now, do you wrap yourself up or what? No, you don't.
I do
that.
use a blanket. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He
Nice.
sleeps
He's
like a
rich.
mummy.
You got the good AC.
Nice.
Yeah, he's freezing. All right, Steve, just give us one because I'm sure there's a million
Yeah.
things
This
that you
one-
did that you thought were normal that were completely weird. Like
This
burning
one
up a
stands out
trampoline
above
or what?
all.
Steve, tell us what's something you did when you were younger, or maybe you've done for a while that you found out later was not so normal.
So this thing, everybody's known since I was younger, and they never fucking told me till I got older, which was fucking annoying. I'd find out from strangers. Apparently, I talk really fast. What? So, like every time, and again, I have a thing for foreign girls, it's whatever. But like when we were in Canada or anywhere else, or every time I meet like a Spanish broad that has an accent, they're always like, "What? I don't even know what the fuck your friend's saying." Why is that another language? I don't understand. Tell him to slow the fuck down. And to me, that's just, you know, I never felt like I talked fast compared to anybody else, or I don't fucking know. And, you know, customers I've talked to a bazillion in my life, nobody ever said one thing. They were never, hey, Steve, slow down, you talk too fast. No. Instead, they're like, hey, you're perfectly normal. And then I got to have fucking Victoria from Yugoslavia be like, why'd the dumb one talk so fast? I'm like, oh, who, me? She's like, yeah, he's stupid. I'm like, no, I'm not stupid. I do talk fast, don't I? She was like, what is wrong with this fucking guy? And now, you know, I make a conscious effort to sometimes try to slow it down. But once my adrenaline builds up and I get a little blood flowing, and apparently I talk a little quick. I don't fucking know. Thanks for telling me, guys.
Yeah, well.
Steve, that's part of your charm, brother. I love the fast talking. You keep doing it. You talk as fast as you want.
You remind me of the Micro Machine guy. Remember the Micro Machine guy from the commercials when we were little that could speak like 1,000 miles an hour? You have to bring it up on YouTube.
You got to be what are the auction? You got to be an auctioneer.
Yeah.
Steve,
I'll just stand up there and talk shit.
Cabot.
And this jerk off wins right here.
And this pussy over here. And this one over there.
All right, Tom, what about you? Normal, not normal?
All right. So I've been thinking, I something hit me the other day and I didn't realize that it even happened and it's almost embarrassing to admit. So Little League World Series is on and I'm watching the Little League World Series. And I thought to myself, I go, man, when I was younger, I was playing baseball. I'm in the Little League, right? And so I would play a couple different positions: shortstop, pitcher, no big
right
deal.
Field,
Superstar.
right field, right field.
So all-star,
right field,
full-time all-star. So
right
whatever, not a big deal. And the one time the coach said, "Hey Tom, you're gonna catch like in the next couple innings." I said, "All right, I'll catch."
Always was a catcher.
Yeah, we know that. But so they said, I said, "Coach, I don't have a cup. You know, you need to have a cup to go catch." So he said, "All right, we'll go to the snack shack." I go to the snack shack. I said, "Hey, do you have cups here?" She says, "Yeah."
What is happening?
The lady gave me a cup.
Yeah.
She said, "What did she say?" Bring it back.
How big's your dick?
Bring it back. So I go, I put the cup in.
Wait, is this like an actual
This is
like a jock strap cup?
Jesus
jock
Christ,
strap
you
was
get
there.
monkeypox doing
The
that.
jock strap was there, and the cup was there. It was like the big gray
Tom's
John.
page
You know what I'm
said
saying?
0.
Yeah.
The big gray John. And so I go into the game. I put the cup in my underwear and just fucking catch. And then after the inning, I put it into my bag. And then in between innings, I put it back in. So for like 3 innings, whatever. The game ends. It's the plastic container came in. I put it back in the plastic container. I shut the container. I take it back to the snack shack and I give it to the lady. I must have done that 3 or 4 times that year. I got the league cup in my fucking crotch. What the fuck? Bring the cup back, snack shack lady? Are you kidding me? I give
Why
the
would
cup
you
back.
want it back?
I give the cup back and I get a grape Slurpee. You know what I mean?
You're like, you want some big league chew, buddy?
Chew.
Yeah.
How many people use that cup? You know what I mean?
Man.
Am I
She's
the
like,
only
this
one?
was my grandpappy's cup that I passed down
Yeah.
from
How long
you.
had that cup been in
Yeah.
the league?
We've had this cup since Scuffy McGee.
Another ball player needs a league cup, huh? All right, here you go, young fella. Here's the cup. You put it in there. You protect your genitals. All right.
Weirdos, some more weird Lansdale.
She's probably just sniffing that cup when you were done. She's
The
like,
league
he
cup.
smells like a young
Well, I will
boy."
say this: if my memory serves me correctly, the first lady told me to bring it back. The second mom, I said, "Hey, there's a cup up there. I need the cup." She hands me the cup. And
She
then
put
when
it
I
on
brought
you?
it back. She like looked at me like I was strange. I said, "Well, the last lady told me to bring it back. Here you go. I'm not paying for it. I don't got any fucking money. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
rode
you
my
turn
bike here.
You turn around, the last lady's in there going,
It's like the umpire, some fucking creep.
hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that was the initial normal, not normal segment. Real good stuff. Like we said, available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Expects Podcast, a Sheila Barry episode. And then next week on the show, we have, dude, I'll tell you, next week's show is one of my favorites that we've ever done. It was the Bob Miles interview. Bob Miles had a guitar show on PBS and VH1 for like 25 years. He's a killer guitarist. He's a member of the Hensler Gracie PA Academy. He's had a crazy, crazy life and a crazy story. Super great dude, super funny guy, has worked with a ton of different celebrities and musicians and things like that. But his story is really awesome, really great interview. Super excited to get it out there. But I want to keep it moving. So now we're going to move on to everyone's favorite segment. It's time for a little recommendation. Tom, we're going to go to you first. What is your recommendation?
I can recommend anything. Please start watching WWE again. It's so good. Triple H is in charge of it. The shows are great. The matches are great. You're getting pay-per-view quality matches on Monday Night Raw.
Wow.
And Clash at the Castle is going to be incredible. They're finally building the shows the way they should have been doing for years. Vince McMahon stepping down is the best thing that has happened to WWE in a long time. I love you, Vince McMahon. It's not a knock on you, but you're old as fuck and you're out of touch. All right. Triple H knows what he's doing. I mean, we had Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw the other day. It was fucking incredible. That is a main event. That is a WrestleMania main event. Okay. They're doing this every week. They're building up the matches. They're putting on great shows. You never know what's going to happen. Tune in to WWE because the show is
Hasn't it gone up it's no longer PG or it's no longer G-rated. TV 14. So they've gone back to, so it's Attitude Era almost. They're going towards the Attitude Era style.
That was when it was the best.
Ruthless aggression, Attitude Era. And so and we got people that are still out. Cody Rhodes isn't even involved yet. You know what I mean? And this is like Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns at Clash of the Castle in Scotland is going to be the hottest crowd you have seen probably since Calgary Stampede. Canadian Stampede.
Yeah.
In Calgary, Alberta, Calgary. Is that what it was? Alberta?
I believe so.
So this is going to be epic.
Epic.
Watch it.
Shout out. Fan of the show. Listen to the show. WWE. Nice. Great recommendation. Thanks for that. Strong Stem, your recommendation.
So I'm going to go away from the weird shit and right into 278 for the UFC because you have Luke Rockhold. Maybe they're calling this one this one's going to be basically for best looking guy in the UFC. Paulo Costa, this Brazilian fucking dime piece who last time when he got beat up by Izzy claimed he drank too much wine the night before because he was depressed. He got all types of stupid excuses, but he's a bad motherfucker. Went to a decision with John Jones before. Or no, he didn't. But he's fighting Luke Rockhold, who ain't fought in a minute, right? And Luke is like, he was a fucking $1 million Calvin Klein or Gucci model, whatever the fuck he was. Guy's a fucking model, and he was a world champion in the UFC. Understand how your business is getting punched in the face. You're still good looking enough to be not only is he the toughest guy at the party, he's a world champion. Fucking asshole is the best looking person on the planet too. So I usually like to see him lose, even though I kind of like him. But then they got old ass Jose Aldo on the card too, which is sick. And then the last one again. Yeah. Damn. And then they got the kid, the local guy, graduated a little bit, I think, below us. Flash Gordon, Jarrett Gordon. He was always around in like the Bethlehem area. Used to train with Henzo guys here and there, and everybody knows him from around the way. He's on the prelims, which is dope. So you got a local guy fighting. Nice. So my recommendation is UFC 278 to see if Usman versus Leon Edwards too, because they fought a long time ago. Edwards is probably the best striker at this weight. Usman's a big favorite. He's fucking minus 400. I would never bet against him. But if you want to make some money, Leon Edwards is nasty on his feet. I don't think he has a shot against him. But
nice,
big thing. Yep.
Nice, awesome. All right, and that's Saturday.
Yes.
Cool. Very nice.
I'll definitely be watching.
Cool. Mm-hmm. And Lasmeeshma, your recommendation.
So we just went to Hershey, so I did like a lot of driving while I was driving.
In the farm?
I listened to in the farm. So I was listening to Marvel's Wastelanders. It's Marvel's podcast. It's set in like the Old Man Logan universe, and they do stories for Star-Lord, Hawkeye, Black Widow, and the newest one was Wolverine. That was the one I was listening to. But there's like 10 episodes per. They're like 20 minutes, but they're really good. It's almost like listening to an audiobook. But
Marvel Wastelanders is what it's called?
Yeah, Wastelanders is what it's called.
Okay.
They have it on Spotify and stuff. But the Wolverine one I listened to last, it was really good. And the guy who does the voice is Robert Patrick. I think he was the T-1000. He's in
shit.
He was in he does Logan's voice. He does awesome.
Wait. T-1000 does fucking Wolverine's voice?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So and he just did Peacemaker, and I thought he was really good in that too. He was Peacemaker's dad, like that
Oh,
asshole.
that dude.
Yeah.
He's
He
in a
does
ton
Logan's
of
voice.
shit. He's
Uh-huh.
awesome. He's
Yeah,
a
he
great
is.
actor. He
Yeah.
plays a great like racist. You know what I mean? He
Oh,
plays
yeah.
like a great racist jerk. Yeah.
Yeah,
Peacemaker's dad.
Peacemaker's dad was such a piece of shit in that. But
Oh,
in this, he
Peacemaker's
did
the best.
awesome as Wolverine, like as Logan.
He looks
did
like the
awesome.
guy from Terminator 2.
Yeah, I said T-1000.
He said he was T-1000. That's what we're
Oh,
saying.
was he?
Yeah,
Were you guys fucking not paying attention? I screamed because he just said T-1000.
Well, I don't know
Is the
T-1000.
voice of fucking Wolverine. I don't know
Yeah.
shit about movies or comics. I know those two.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's definitely a good show.
Sorry,
10
Liam.
episodes
I
were
love
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Can't believe it's
apologies
T-1000.
necessary.
Well, T-1000, I'm not down with the lingo so much with that. You know what I mean?
You down with OPP?
No,
Yeah,
just
you know
Arnold.
me.
Oh, and by no, yeah. You go.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Uh,
Steve.
All right. Well, cool. Thanks for that, Liam. So it Marvel's Wastelanders. Really good stuff. So my recommendation this week is Hard Knocks on HBO.
I've been hearing about this. Heard it's good.
MCDC Motor City Dan fucking
Did you-
Campbell is the best, dude.
Did you get to see Swift yet? You see me text you about him with that fucking sick touchdown?
Yeah. No, Swift can
North
play.
Philly's finest, baby.
Dude, but I love too. Like, there's a ton. Like, Staley's there. Hank Fraley. Love
Yeah.
seeing Hank Fraley. Dude, when Hank Fraley was the center for the Eagles on the team that lost, you know, like he was on the team that went and lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Like, he was that era. He was a really good center. One of the fastest linemen in the league. He was he was really, really good. Really
So
big
think about
fan of him.
Swift. He grew up in this city watching him and Deuce. Deuce was the runner when he was.
Deuce
So he's
was-
playing
oh.
for the
And
guy
Westbrook.
who like was
And
his
Westbrook.
fucking running back when he was a kid. You know what I mean?
Georgia running back.
Yeah, but he went to St.
Dude, he
Joe's
was-
High School in Philly.
Yeah, he was
He was
good
Philly
in
guy.
college. He was
Yeah.
definitely good in college.
Dude, it was. I
I
mean,
could take him.
he like. Dude, Deuce Staley had like he was the whole team here. for,
He's a
like,
beast.
Years,
He's fucking
bro.
beast.
He got
And he
those
fit right
hard
in with
yards.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, dude,
Perfect
yeah.
at Pittsburgh.
yeah,
Oh,
him
yeah.
and Bettis, that 1-2 punch,
Ah.
that was brutal.
Good luck.
Oh,
tackling them
yeah.
fucks.
That was Pittsburgh football.
Yeah,
Bettis
fucking
and
Mike
Staley.
Tomlin, no
Ah.
centipede shit.
Oh, and Roethlisberger raping bitches.
Actually-
he was only in the bathroom and he pulled his dick out. All right.
I actually hate
One
Pittsburgh
skull.
fans and Roethlisberger, but like Pittsburgh is like a like
Ah.
that they're serious football.
Don't
team. I fucking
don't
hate
be
them.
don't be a
Steelers?
cunt. Man.
Yeah.
All right. Don't be a
Number
cunt.
one organization in football, probably.
It is.
all
it is,
time.
probably. The way it's ran. The way it's ran too.
That's what they say. They are like
Can't deny it. Super
Yeah.
Bowl rings.
Maybe that's why I
coaches,
hate.
like,
Maybe that's why I hate their
recount.
fans so much because I
Yeah.
know they're actually a good.
Yeah,
Football
because
team.
Schittsburg is
You know?
corny.
Well,
Fuck
plus because they
Pittsburgh.
got the
they're
Penguins,
corny.
they got the
That's it,
Steelers.
Steve. They're just
Yeah.
they're corny. Like don't get me wrong. Like,
Also,
they
another-
kind of know their shit, but they're just so corny.
Corny, yeah. Steel
All right,
working
you dork.
fucking
Whatever.
sis.
also, I did want to say this. Another recommendation this weekend, this Sunday, 9 p.m. on HBO, Game of Thrones, House of Dragons.
That
debuts.
starts.
That starts.
Oh shit. Hi.
Is it gonna be better than
Wait,
the
whoa,
last
whoa. Hold on.
episode?
Let's
bitch in it.
let's back it up. Steve, you're excited about Game of Thrones?
So I oddly got pulled into this. Ready? I got pulled into it one time because my
What
ex used to watch it all the time. Right?
Fuck.
I would ne- I
you
would ne- Hold on.
front running motherfucking
front
son of a bitch.
What do you mean
You've
front running?
shit
How front
on
running?
all this comic book and fantasy talk, and you love Game of Thrones, which is the #1 fantasy
ready?
show.
Hold on. Let me explain myself. First off, this is based on actual events and in castles and like this shit.
It is not based on actual events.
No. I'm not saying like that, you fucking scumbag, like a documentary, you sped. You hear me? I'm like, it's in a situation where it's like a real thing. There was no guy flying through the sky in your comic books, all right? There was people fighting for each other's like kingdoms and castles in an area over there just like that, right? No dragons. So I say it's corny. I don't pay attention. I walk by, forgetting it's on HBO. I walk by and see some dude fucking one of the hottest chicks I've ever seen. And I'm like,
Khaleesi.
what's happening here?
Khaleesi.
And then I turn 2 seconds
Mother
later,
of
I walk back
dragons.
and there's
Ugh.
a midget with naked chicks all over him who are all
Yeah.
hot. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait,
Little
what is
person.
this? I was like, what is this?
So
you're watching
you,
porn?
yeah.
You're watching porn. She was like, no, I'm watching Game
It's
of Thrones. I'm like,
basically a soft porn.
I was like,
There's
wait, they
so
fuck in
many
this?
tits. There's
She was like, they fuck all the
so
time. I was
many
like,
tits.
Wieners.
All right, for all those listening,
Do
we
they
have just
fuck in the
been
comic
joined. We have just been joined by the man, the myth, the bad boy himself, Benoit Podcasy. Bern, rough road to get here today, huh? Had a little bit of a nudge. What'd you get?
Oh yeah, no, we got a nice little butterfly band-aid right underneath the eyebrow, because we banged it off a corner. But as you know, a spot like that, a lot of blood.
Yeah.
And between my
Face
son and my wife, it was fucking pandemonium.
Yeah,
So
World War III just happened in your house.
everyone is now asleep.
That
and
took a
I'm-
lot.
It was a come
happier.
down. It was a
Bern,
Well,
come
you
down.
came in
What's
just
the
the right
scariest insect?
time.
So
What do you
here's-
think of trampolines?
Bern, have you ever been naked and afraid?
All right,
Are you
I
without
prepared-
power right now?
Do you have the
And
power
what is
minute?
something that is not normal
Give the
that you
rundown,
thought was
Bern.
normal?
Run it
I
down.
prepared for this earlier. Trampolines. As a kid, fan. As a parent, not. See a
Got
lot
it.
of weird
Love
broken
it.
arms, broken
Yep.
legs. What was the next
Naked
question?
and afraid.
Naked and afraid. I also had a good run away with my pants in my hand from getting some dome. But
Yeah.
I heard that part, and you guys covered that pretty well. So I will say that when I was 20 years old, me and Murph went to a Halloween party in Manayunk, that Barnes's house, a bunch of St. Joe's kids, and we showed up and we just wore sneakers and tube socks on our cocks.
The Red Hot Chili
And-
Peppers gimmick?
Yeah, exactly. And then
You
but
did
we
that
were
every weekend, though.
Yeah.
well, we were underage and the party got raided, so I was in the kitchen. So everyone starts running out the back, and I look at the back and I'm like, fence, bush,
Nutsack.
nutsack. Like, this is not. I'm not prepared to trounce off into the wild tonight. You know, to like we found a gate, luckily, to get through. Because I was like, I'll take the underage. I'm not fucking risking my ball bag on that. You know, that
Sure.
chain link fence. Like, it's just not going to happen.
You're dressed for prison.
It's not the way you want to go in. That's for sure. It's
Yeah.
definitely not the way you want to go in.
Okay.
Coming out different.
Depends how you look at it.
And then what about power? Ever lose
Losing
power?
Yeah, the most we ever lost was during whatever that hurricane was that killed Jersey. I was living in Fairmount. Sandy, was it Sandy?
Sandy.
We lost power for 2 days. My recommendation is get a bunch of booze and play the game Risk by candlelight. Really intensifies the Risk game when you're actually like, you feel like you're in a bunker.
Yeah.
The
try to
Ukraine
plot.
week.
Not on my board. As far as the Scorpions go, Rock You Like a Hurricane is a classic, and I'm just gonna, I don't know how we get any better than that.
Here I am. Bow, bow.
Is that the
Rock
scariest
you like a
insect?
hurricane.
The scariest insect?
Yes.
It's got to be a cockroach.
I don't know if it's a cock. I mean, they don't bite, man. I'm scared.
I
of the
know,
shit that,
right?
like,
If you woke up with cockroaches in your bed, you would be terrified. If there was
Yeah.
if there was a
With bed bugs
centipede
in your
there,
bed.
If you had 10 centipedes, foot-long centipedes in your bed,
yeah, if you're in the
it wouldn't be
Amazon
great.
rainforest for the first time in your life,
but like one brown wreck. I'd rather have 10 non-poisonous centipedes than one brown recluse. I wake up and all of a sudden I'm like, why is my foot swollen? And then 2 days later, I'm like, oh, I'm in the hospital.
And my legs gone.
I've been poisoned, and then
about
wondering
ticks?
if I get to keep my foot. Ticks
Ooh,
ticks are really scary.
ticks.
Lyme disease knows no
We
joke.
forgot
man.
about
Like,
ticks.
Lyme disease is no joke, and we live in Pennsylvania. Like, I remember when we would
everywhere.
when I would go between, I'd be like living in Philly. I go to visit my mom in Wilkes-Barre, and we
Everywhere.
would use two different kinds of tick remover for the dog, for Bowie, because the ecosystem was completely different on the other side of Lehigh Tunnel. There's a million ticks over here, and there's a million ticks over here, but they're not the same kind of ticks. And
Yep.
and Lyme
Got
disease will fuck you up,
mountain
man.
ticks.
mountain
Yeah.
ticks.
Yeah,
Goddamn
Lyme disease will fuck you
mountain
up
ticks.
too.
I wrestled
Yeah.
a couple mountain ticks before.
I
thought you called them rhinos.
I'll tell you what, I'm trying to take a couple puffs of that brown recluse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is a
yeah,
brown
yeah.
recluse?
Okay,
What
wait,
is a
yeah.
brown recluse?
I'm with it.
It is a poisonous spider indigenous to Pennsylvania. It's
Yeah.
a poisonous spider that is
Spiders
well
are scary.
populated in this state. Yeah,
Spiders
and
suck.
they're the
Are
kind of
they
motherfuckers,
arachnids?
they'll just bite you in your sleep, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, I got a little bug bite. And then like
Didn't
2
even
days
get to
later,
kill
you're
that
like,
piece of shit.
why is there a tennis ball on my calf? And then you're like, oh, I'm sweating and I can't taste anymore. Like it's like a slow poison, like.
Yep.
Where are we at
Just
on
gives you, like,
bees?
bees.
Fuck
I'm
bees.
I'm cool on bees, man. I don't give a shit about bees. Like, I mean,
Bees are good for the environment too.
They're good
Like,
for the
Bees
environment.
nuts.
bees
I was like,
nuts.
I remember once there was this girl visiting. My mom was friends with this lady like years ago, like way back in the day, and they lived in California. They came to visit, and I was in 8th grade, and this girl was a sophomore in high school. Her name was Allie, and she went to Long Beach Polytech, which I know because that's where Snoop Dogg went
Snoop Dio double
to
jizzle.
high school.
And Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. So
And DeAnthony Thomas, the Black Mamba.
So while she was visiting in 1995, I took her to go see what's the fucking movie with Gangster's Paradise from Coolio? What's the
Higher
Criminal
Learning? No,
Minds.
Criminal Minds.
Dangerous Mind.
Dangerous
Minds.
Minds.
Dangerous
Good
Minds.
call,
I
Liam.
said
With
higher
the
learning.
fife,
Higher
right?
learning.
Yeah.
With the fife. Shout out the fife.
Oh yeah, looking fire in that.
Shout out
So-
the fife.
Saw that in theaters, right? Thought that I was like, I'm fucking in 8th. I'm getting ready to go to 9th grade. She's getting ready to be a junior. I'm like, I'm in like Flint.
Yeah.
Walk out of the movie theater. Bee flies in my shirt. I don't handle it well. I end up just flailing around and then taking my shirt off and then fighting a bee. And from that moment, I decided that if a bee comes at me, I'm gonna close fist them.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a couple of them. Like I'm cool. I'm not gonna go out and kill you. You have a nest outside, you're fine. But if you come at me, I'm gonna I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna go straight up Sean
Will
Day.
Smith.
No
Smith.
need for no need for the closed fist. I'm going
Yeah.
open palm.
Yeah.
Will
Sonic
Smith,
Boom.
Chris
Strike 'em,
Rock
yo.
that bee.
Home
Exactly.
strike them.
Nice. All right, Bern. And then what about normal, not so normal? You got anything?
Oh,
Something that you thought was normal that you did.
yeah.
They
this
found
was
out was
the-
not normal.
This was the toughest one. I guess
Does you-
trick or treating at bars. Was something I thought
Ooh,
everyone
shout
did.
out.
Also, the weird Notre Dame Penn State rivalry is so insane where I'm from. I remember getting to college and like I'm living on this dorm and we're there for a couple weeks. And this one guy who was super nice, and we started talking about Notre Dame Penn State. He's like, "Yeah, I root for both of them." And I was like, "Do not trust this person. This person is like no one I've ever met. I've never met anyone with balls to say that."
Yeah.
And it took me years to realize that like this is not a rivalry that exists in every house. Like,
Just in Scranton.
yeah, this is
44th
Northeastern PA.
Wilkes-Barre.
It's
In the
44th.
Wilkes-Barre.
In the Wyoming Valley.
Pavilville. The
Pavilville,
Scranton.
baby.
The
Penn State
Pavilville
Notre Dame
rivalry.
is
Yeah.
at its peak in Pavilville.
But yeah, I didn't realize that the greatest rivalry in college football was not Notre Dame versus Penn State till I was at least 20 years old.
Yeah. All right. And then what about a recommendation?
Oh,
Fucking bug.
You jonesing for a thrones in there, Benoit? Jonesing for a
I mean,
throne?
we're coming. We're
What
coming,
about
baby, right?
Wastelanders? You like Wastelanders?
Wastelanders. Do I know Wastelanders? I don't know if I know Wastelanders.
Liam.
Oh, it's the new podcast hitting the streets. It takes place during
Oh, it's
the
the Marvel
Logan.
one? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because they've done a bunch of podcasts.
I know
They've done
all
Man
about it.
Hawkeye podcast.
Yeah.
They've done some really cool
Star
shit.
Lord, they did. Yep.
Hawkeye?
Who's the dude who's doing it's Wastelanders Wolverine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Who'd they get? I
It's
saw it.
it's T1000.
T1000.
Patrick.
Duh.
Robert Patrick. All right, yeah.
Yo.
Oh shit.
Dude, Peacemaker, right? His dad. What if they could tie it in that fucking Peacemaker's dad was T1000?
Right?
That'd be
awesome. I'd be
watch
with
that
it.
comic book.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
that
dope. I love
dude,
his hair.
Steve, you would love that
Yeah.
show regardless.
Great hair.
Just because all the tits
for
has.
his role. Perfect for his role.
Hey,
Oh,
Bern.
perfect.
Yo,
I got a question for Bern. How'd your boy do?
he did okay, man. He did okay.
Hell
Did he
yeah.
win?
What's up?
Did he win?
All
Timmy?
he does is no, he's
yeah,
not
I'm talking
going.
about the Jiu-Jitsu Bowl.
Oh no, he's not going until the 27th, man. He's
I thought
he's
it
a
was
week-
last
he's a week
week.
short.
All right,
Bern's
okay.
like, oh, you guys
Okay.
are asking me about my kid. And
my
how,
son.
Ah.
That's so nice.
how
of
did
you.
he handle it?
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
All right.
You
Yeah.
guys want to hear about my kindergarten orientation last night?
Yeah. So nice. Well, we're coming to the top of time. Before we get out of here, Strong Stem, anything you want to say to the cult of Cabot before we take off?
Yep. And we don't get political on the show, but suck it, Griner. Suck it, Griner. My fault.
Wow. Okay.
Oh shit.
Shout out. Fan of the show, listener of the show, Brittany Griner.
Uh,
Very good.
Nobody misses you, bitch.
Oh my God.
That's not funny. Why are you guys laughing? That's not right. Don't laugh.
Tom, what about
Steve's
you?
been on the free BG train for a while. What happened?
Yeah,
You
you've
started,
always
you took a heel
you've been
turn.
saying
Yeah.
free Griner for months, but
I know.
either way.
Then she got sentenced. Suck it, bitch.
All right, Tom, what do you got to say to the Captain Jerkbeard fanatics
Yo.
before we take off?
Captain Jerkbeard
Uh.
fanatics. Hope you enjoyed the show. Have a great weekend, and that's about it.
Very nice. Benoit, anything you want to say to the Benoit Podcasy faithful before we get into the post show?
No, man, I'm just, I just wanted to pop in. I didn't want to mess with the flow. I didn't get over here till late, but just know,
You nailed it.
whatever
You crushed
you
it.
can do, it takes a lot of, sometimes you got to come off the bench. It's no shame
Hell
coming off the
yeah.
bench. You can add something,
No.
Lou Williams.
Yeah.
get a couple boards.
Aaron
Also,
McKee.
Sixth man.
Shout out to the future 25 game parlay I'll be making on Christmas Day that contains 3 NFL games and 5 NBA games.
Can we get a
Wow.
live
Christmas
show?
Day.
A live viewing of me and Bern watching the Celtics versus Sixers and talking
Opening-
shit back
opening
and
night?
forth. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's do it, dude. Let's do it. That's opening night. Boston Sixers opening night. Also, Sixers
When does
are
this
on
take place and where are we going to
End
shoot
of
it?
October.
end of October. Also, Christmas Day, you got your Birds play Saturday night, Christmas Eve, and then the Sixers kick off the sports on Christmas Day at noon against the Knicks.
That sounds awesome.
So it's a nice little. Nice little for Philly fans. You got a nice little. And you got good games. I'm trying to remember. the
Wait,
NFL
Christmas this year's on a Sunday?
Christmas is on a Sunday.
Oh,
See.
that sucks some D. We're not going to get any fucking days off from
You
work.
lose a little
All
time
right,
off on that
shut
one
up,
for
corporate
sure.
America. Shut the fuck up.
I don't get any of that bullshit off.
I know. I want to get
Also-
money for sitting at home with my dick in my hand.
You
Also, my
wish you
job is
got
only
paid for
closed
sitting at home with your dick
on-
in your
You
hand.
got
While
you ain't lying, brother.
while
you ain't
strangling
fucking
yourself.
lying.
Yeah,
You ain't
while
lying.
strangling yourself.
You
Sorry.
ain't
Oh
lying.
yeah, Steve. I didn't know you were doing the old
Autoerotic
charity net
asphyxiation.
tie.
Choking stroke?
Yeah.
Listen,
Choking
listen.
stroke.
No one.
The choke and stroke.
Listen.
Stroke Cabot.
Listen to me. Nobody goes to the bottom of the ocean at 10 feet and retrieves an anchor without a little choking drilled into him. Operates with no brain cells well.
Yeah, how about it? All right.
Steve's got an anchor and a boner. What's going on here?
Yeah. Nice.
Ew,
And
did
then-
he knock a loogie in the water?
Is that an eel?
Yeah. Okay.
It's
And
Apple.
then, yep. Lasmeeshma, what do you got to say to Lasmeesh Nation before we get out of here?
In 3 words, you can sum up everything you've ever learned about life. That it goes on. Fucking anything that happens to you, man, fucking let it go. Like this Brittany Griner chick getting sentenced. Fuck her, dude. If I was getting arrested, if I got arrested in Russia, you want to know how much sleep she would use? She would lose 0 sleep, dude. She would
0.
fucking- yeah.
Not a
She
win.
would continue living her life if I got busted in Russia.
True.
Got
Yep.
9
Very
years.
true. Very true.
Suck it, Griner.
Well, speaking of Brittany Griner sucking it, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by Schwab Game Steve Cabot, Lasmeeshma Liam Reese, Captain Jerkbeard Tom Lavelle, and the bad boy Bern Podcasy. You can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you this sweet content. Thanks for listening. Stick around for the ad read. Thanks. See ya. All right, we're clear. Again, I said the ad read. There's no fucking ad read. I don't know why I fucking said that. But
And that was a
either
lot
way.
more than 3 words, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Have you ever won?
have you guys have you guys ever heard of the actress D Siren?
Siren.
I feel like I have.
I don't believe so. It doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah.
I might have got a massage from her before. Where's she work?
Well, she lives in Texas, and she
Oh.
used to be a teacher, and decided that teaching wasn't her calling.
So she
and
went into porn.
She did, and
Yes, I knew this was gonna happen. Matt.
Is she
Did you
on the
get this
show?
bitch?
she is.
I'll fly to Texas.
I'm
I'll fly
talking.
to Texas to have a
Well,
live one.
so I've been communicating with.
I searched her name and it says safe search is off.
Hell yeah, my
Uh,
safe search is off.
That's how you know it's
So
good.
I've been
D
talking
as in DEE or like D.
DEESIREN, D siren. But
And hence,
I have
Yeah, what
About
the-
to see what she looks like right now.
yeah, tell
I-
me, Scram.
so I've been in contact with her publicist, who is a actress known as Tanya Tate. I don't know
Hell
if you
yeah,
ever heard of Tanya
Ooh,
Tate.
that
I
name
feel
sounds
like
a
I
little more
did.
familiar.
I know
So,
that name
yeah,
does
it's a little
sound
bit
Your
more
your
bell.
boy's been talking to Tanya Tate, and so I
behind my
guess
back.
D Siren used to be a school
Whore.
teacher,
Oh.
and then decided that she didn't want to be a school teacher anymore,
She wanted to be a whore.
and that she wanted to just let it all
An
do
entrepreneur.
it. Yep, and
Whatever.
and her husband's cool with it. So
So am I.
yep, that's her gimmick. So there you go.
Well,
You know.
Don't call it a comeback.
Oh, all
here
right. For
for
all
years.
those listening, we've just been joined by the one and only Sean Douglas Day. Sean, how are you, sir? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you guys know who Matt Grievers is?
No.
He's a 5-time Olympic gold medalist in swimming.
Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah. So basically, my schedule got all wonky because I got a position with Bayer Agriculture,
Okay.
and then I found out Matt Grievers is teaching swim lessons at my kid's school. So my kids just got back from a swim lesson from a 5-time gold medalist. So
Whoa.
sorry. He's more important than you guys right now.
No, yeah.
Hey.
100%. Does he? If I had a gold medal, believe you me, if I had a bronze medal, I would never take that fucking thing off. You know what I mean? I just
Also,
be
like,
walking around with it all the time.
Well, the
Sean's
funny
got-
thing is,
Sean's got twins. He's not trying to kick in for 2 college tuitions at the same time. If one of these kids can go get a swimming deal, like,
Yeah. How about it?
go
How
get it.
about it?
well, no, the funny thing is, I was looking at him. I'm like, because I mean, I just kind of knew he could swim fast. I was looking at him. He's like 6'8". His body
Damn.
looked He looked exactly like Michael Phelps, and like his
Damn.
wingspan was like bigger than the lane. I'm like, this guy looks like he can swim really fast. And so it took
Wow.
me like so I looked him up, and I'm like, holy shit, he's a fucking 5-time gold medalist.
This guy's no joke.
Damn.
5 gold medals. You swim fast as shit.
Yeah, you're faster than fuck. That is for sure.
Was it the breaststroke?
Nice. So, Sean, you're on here today, dude. Thanks for jumping on. Glad to have you back. You said you had a message. What's the deal?
Oh, I think I was drunk when I said that. There's no message.
Oh,
That's
No,
just
honest-
fuck yourself.
well, good.
No,
Well, we're
honestly,
happy
What
to
are your
have
thoughts
you
on
honestly-
Brittany Griner?
back.
Well, yeah. Anyways,
Wait, no, this is actually a perfect person to have. Sean, what is the most dangerous insect?
Oh, great question.
Because you've probably
Dangerous.
seen more like than I have
Yeah.
across the world. What's the one that you were like, I don't want to
well,
tussle with that?
I guess
thing?
like my mind goes different ways because it's like there's probably some that are like super dangerous, but they won't attack you. So it's like, is it really dangerous? I think like a centipede. I think like a centipede's supposed to be like really dangerous, but I don't think they'll actually bite you. But I guess my final answer is centipede. I don't know.
That's right.
Wow.
Me and the Navy SEAL
Wow.
are on the
Although-
same fucking.
Wow.
Although you know what, it's not an insect though because it has more than 6 legs. So technically, it's not an insect
You dumb fuck. How about that, Tom? You stupid fuck.
because it has 100 legs. So it's not an insect. Because
What is
yeah.
what is
Suck it, Tom.
Are insects defined by the legs they have?
Yeah,
So
6
is a
legs.
spider not an insect?
No,
It's
it's-
arachnid.
Fuck.
It's an arachnid.
yeah.
So then what's a centipede?
Your,
I don't
your worst
fucking know.
nightmare.
is the
Steve,
insect
your
defined by
audio
its
is-
legs
thank
or
God.
by its body? Like, does an insect
No,
have
no,
to
it's a-
have
no,
the head, abdomen, thorax, or is it strictly leg?
No, it's the
Or
legs because
anything.
I used to do research on these things called tardigrades, and they have 8 legs, but they're not arachnids or insects. They're in their own order called tardigrada. So
Thorax, more like borax.
They're predatory arthropods.
So,
Arthropod. that
Sean,
was the
what's been up, man? So you're
Oh, dude.
you're so last time you were here, you had to leave because you're starting a new job. That didn't work out, and you're starting another new job, or what's going down?
No. So I was actually, my wife basically just woke up and was like, I want to move to Houston, Texas, because her whole family lives there, and she's getting ready to finish her fellowship.
Nice.
And I was like, and she's gonna make way more money than me. and
love it.
So
you're moving
basically-
to Texas. I hear you,
essentially
bro.
happy wife, happy life, and she wants to
Hell
go to
yeah.
Texas. So we're moving in we're moving fast, like 45 days. Like
Dude, ain't nothing wrong with Texas, brother.
yeah. So I've
Especially
been like
Houston.
I've been running around like with a fucking chicken when the head cut off because I was started. I was supposed to start a position with Bayer, and then we decided we're gonna move. So I got to start applying for jobs out there, selling my house. I got to buy a house out there. Got 2 twins to move, and then at one point I was gonna sell my farm, but now I've got a group of guys who are gonna watch over it for me, so I don't have to actually sell the farm now.
Are you
But,
gonna do a
oh.
farm in Texas too, or are you gonna just do a normal house?
Yeah, I don't like financing things, so I'm gonna have to invest some more for a couple more years. And the stock market's like just not doing very well right now, so I don't want to take any. I don't want to take any money out of there right now. But yeah, that's the goal. But I'm actually out there. I'm gonna do animals though, because they get like a lot of rain. They get 55 inches of rain. So I'm looking into
Do some
getting keys of land.
horse, dude. Would you ever want to get into horse breeding?
I mean, for me, I'm more about like making calories, like making food, like something for like
Yeah.
survival, like apocalypse, like a horse. What the fuck you gonna do with a horse? I mean, they're just like
Grass-fed beef.
it's a big money pit. Horses
And
are big
plus,
money pits.
Grass-fed
Everyone
beef
knows-
is the gimmick right now.
Everyone knows the only crop in Texas is AR-15s. That's all they grow. There's no corn. They just grow AR-15s.
Oh,
I think
dude.
that's the deal.
Well, what I could do is I could get
As
a
far
3D
as the
print-
eye can see.
Well, no, they did this big gun buyback. I think it was like Austin, and this fucking genius, he went out and got a 3D printer.
Yeah, I
Started
saw
three-
that.
He started 3D printing guns and selling them back.
What genius?
Yeah, dude
Or
made a
what I
ton
would
of
do
money.
is-
I'm
Dude,
sure.
they're only giving you $200. I would literally go in line or wherever they're selling them and just buy back like, hey, they're gonna give you 200, I'll give you 500, and just go to the pawn shop and fucking sell it for 1,000 because an AR-15
Ooh.
right now, right? An AR-15, like, why would you sell it to the state?
worth
for
a little more than
$200.
$200.
Why are they
Wait.
taking back AR-15s? What's wrong with them?
They're doing gun buyback. So if you
Because-
want to sell your gun back, you can go sell it
Well,
back. I don't
mean,
know
the under-
I don't know how
Why would
successful
you
those things
wanna-
are.
I mean,
Well, I mean, it's to supposedly like reduce homicide rates. That's
Oh.
what they're saying. Which there's no data that says that. It's
they
gonna
don't
do it.
need gun control, baby. They need bullet control. If you had if bullets were worth $1,000 a piece, I mean, I'm just saying. Shout out Jana. Her car wouldn't have gotten shot up. Shit.
Yo, shout out to
I was
Jan,
supposed to say
getting 9
this.
bullets
So
in her car.
yeah. So
What kind of
co-host
car?
co-host of the Tuesday show. It's a Toyota. So co-host.
What
of,
color?
It's white. So
Black.
Oh,
co-host of the Tuesday show, Jana Hilo. She had a rough week last week. Her car got shot 9 times with it from a drive-by that they shot. They had 34 shots in the drive-by and hit her car 9 times and hit the person once. And then
where does she live?
she lives in like Fairmount.
In-
She lives at 15th and Fairmount, like right there. Right. So like just before North, but nothing. She's not in like Badlands or anything. So her car got shot 9 times. Right. And then her dad had a stroke. And then she got fired from her job all in the same week. So
What?
yeah, Jana had a rough week. Her GoFundMe is going to be in the description of this episode. So please, please help support Jana. Also, she didn't have comprehensive coverage on her car, so the insurance isn't covering the bullets.
Oh my god.
Who the fuck
I will
has?
say,
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have bullet insurance on my car. I'm not even sure.
nope.
I feel like I'm gonna
Nope.
call tomorrow and like
Yeah.
see if it's covered.
I mean, if
Well,
you're moving to
Fratelli's
Texas,
made
you
it
Go to
definitely
Texas,
should.
man.
do you
Yeah,
guys
you should.
do you guys cover IEDs? Do you guys cover bombs? What's being covered here?
What did the Fratellis have on their car?
Well, if you have full coverage, you'd be covered, right?
I know I have a lease, so it's mandatory in Pennsylvania for me to have full coverage on
Yeah.
a lease. So I didn't have a choice.
That's the least of your worries.
Boom.
All right, I'm going to bed.
All right, nice. Sean, what about you? What else, man? Anything else going on? So Texas, and you're looking for a new job. What field is this job you looking for?
Oh well, I'm gonna actually gonna apply with NASA because NASA's like right there in Houston. And so they have- And so like they're big into like their agricultural program now. Like they're trying to build it. So I'm gonna apply for that, but I don't know if I'll get in. So the backup plan is to be a substitute teacher while I get my credentials to be like a full agricultural teacher. And then while I'm doing that, I'll finish my master's up.
Yeah.
And the master's will like, I mean, basically I'm going to keep applying to NASA until like they just keep
Let
saying
you
no.
Dude, what if
Let me in or
what if you discover how to grow plants on Mars? What if that's you?
Well, no, and that's the thing. Like they're trying to do that now. Like, I mean, they literally are doing that, and they are looking for agronomists just like me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if I have the credentials for it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I was an agronomist once.
But there's a bunch of
Also-
SEALs. There's a bunch of SEALs over there now, like who live in Houston. Like,
It's a good community.
Houston's like the fastest growing city in the country, by the way.
I thought it was awesome.
yeah, it's massive.
No,
it's
Houston.
Houston.
Houston
Yeah,
is.
My cousin-
dude, it's so.
I want to
big.
say Chicago's number 2.
My
Houston's
cousin,
that much on the up and up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's got. My
Well, a
cousin
lot of
has
people
3
from
little girls.
California are moving there because of the taxes.
They did
So,
the Joe Rogan thing.
She moved.
Yeah, dude,
She
like,
was in California for a long time, and then her husband, who works in energy, got a gig in Houston, and they moved there like 3 years ago. And she's like, the amount of development that's happening even right now is crazy. Like they're just building it. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes. What I think is even funnier, I would like to see Sean Day, figure out how to grow crops on Mars. But what I really want to see is all the jerk off 6th graders who find out their teacher's out for the day. And it's like, oh man, here comes the substitute.
Yeah,
We're not gonna fuck
let's
around all day.
get them. Yeah.
And then Sean walks into the classroom. Like, oh,
well, yeah,
maybe we will just quietly do our workbooks. Never mind.
Yeah, like, well, the substitute teacher thing, like, from what I've gathered, I think I qualify right now. Like, I have a bachelor's of science in agronomy, and like that's basically all you need to be a substitute teacher. So I don't, and like there's a huge shortage in the U.S. So I doubt I'm gonna like not get the job, but I'm gonna like start applying for like I applied already a few times, but to some spots in Houston, like some bad spots. So basically like dangerous mind shit, you know? Like I'm gonna be like Michelle.
That's
I'm
the
gonna be like
second
Michelle,
time that movie's been
Two-time.
brought up on the show.
Yeah, we
Is
brought
that-
up that movie earlier.
I'm
In
gonna
the
be
last
Michelle
20
Pfeiffer.
minutes.
Oh,
In
really?
the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I brought
funny.
it up too.
That's hilarious.
What are you looking for? You gonna try to do high school or just do like middle school?
That's kind of what I'm gonna do.
Higher.
Like that's why I like the substitute teaching thing. I think I'm just gonna like tell them like whatever grade.
Kindergarten cop.
Yeah, kindergarten cop.
Who is your daddy and
What
what
does
does
he
he
do?
do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like honestly, I mean, it'd be kind of weird to be a dude in kindergarten. I don't know.
No, I'm
Like-
joking. Don't.
Like unless you're gay. I mean, I come out as gay. Just lie to everyone. It won't be so weird.
No, that was the
But-
whole joke of kindergarten cop. Like a guy who looks like you should not be teaching kindergarten. It just doesn't happen. You know? It's just-
No, but like I mean, like realistically, like my goal is there's some agricultural teaching jobs at the high school level. It's almost like a tech school type deal. So like that's kind of the goal. So I'll probably like gear the substitute. I mean, initially the substitute teaching, I'm gonna tell them like, hey, I'll do whatever just to get the job, just to get my foot in the door.
Sure.
And then like once they like start liking me, then I'll start like making demands. But in the beginning, I'm just gonna tell them like, hey, just throw me wherever, I'll figure it out. And then, but yeah, the goal is probably like juniors and seniors.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
John, do you remember like when we wrestled at Panthers? Do you remember wrestling with Folterbauer at Panthers?
I don't remember. I don't. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I have a terrible memory.
I don't remember much either, but Tom kind of remembered it. I just wanted to see if you remembered it. But
I remember
Honestly-
him and his brother getting into trouble all the time. I just don't like. I never wrestled them. They were much bigger than me, but they were always getting. Especially his brother was getting into trouble.
Couple of rascals, would you say, Tom? Couple of rascals?
It seemed like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never really knew him that much, but I just remember them getting pulled out of practice by the coach and different things like happening. Like, and they were always like in the mix of trouble, so
That's
whatever.
really funny because his podcast, he seemed like such a level-headed, like serious, focused, business-headed guy that you realize like, yeah, you can be whoever you want. But when you're 12, you might just be 12.
Yeah, right.
Well,
And, if
Well, I
you're
mean-
And who
bigger than
knows what was
everybody else,
going on at
then
home?
you're-
I don't know
you're
any of
maniac.
that stuff. I just,
Sure.
Yeah.
as a
Even
kid
with the
sitting there, I'm like,
grandparents
man,
and
these
stuff, but
kids
he-
are
he
always
was
getting in
so-
trouble. I don't care that they did.
Which is funny.
Well, and
He's
some
one
of
of the most like professional guests Maddie's had on. Like he was just super proud.
I was gonna say like some of it too is like the type of job you have. Like if you're like a bartender or something, like no one really gives a shit what you say, but he's like
He's
he
a
has
real
to be, like,
estate agent.
like he has to be professional. Like he can't be. He's not,
Right.
like, not a comedian. A comedian can fucking say whatever they want, but like he's dealing with like $1 million homes. These people are all like want to be prim and
Right, he's-
proper.
he's
So
selling
he
himself.
he has to put that. Put
And
that
people
on.
are trusting him with their next 10 15 years. So I get it. It's funny to hear that he was like a little rascal back in the day because
I think
he
that's a
definitely
nice
has his
way of
shit together
putting it,
now.
Bern.
Would
A
you-
little
maybe-
rascal. He wasn't
Little meaner?
alfalfa. All
Maybe
right.
a little meaner? Was he a little meaner?
Huh? Well, it
Um,
was just I don't know what was going on, like, whatever, but they were always getting into some shit.
I'm surprised no
Keep
one
in
brought
mind-
up how hot his mom is. No one brought up how hot his mom was.
Was
I
his
remember
mom really hot?
She was super hot. I think she's still hot.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
don't
I don't
remember?
remember ever seeing. I don't remember.
I remember. I remember. Bro.
Sean can't remember much, but he does remember that
I remember.
fucking
I
hot
remember her
mom.
mom. I remember his mom.
Oh, shout out. Fan of the show, listener of the show. Nice. All right, guys. Well, it's fucking 10:30. I gotta be up at 3. So good shit tonight. Sean, thanks for jumping on, man. But we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. All right.
Yep. Later.
Yep, good to
All
see you,
right,
fellas.
later, guys.
Later.
Yep, see you.